Hey guys, welcome back to KitzConcept Reviews. What we're taking a look at is something different today. It's KitzConcept, their licensed Robetech or Macross, whatever you want to call it, VF-1S. Pretty iconic ship from the series, and it's cool to see an SD version of it. Now, just so you know, this one does have die cast. You saw the scale over there. It says 0.3 pounds, but it's actually a half pound. I don't know what's going on with it during this review, but it's acting kind of sketchy. But it's a half pound unboxed. Alright, looking at the accessories there, extra hands, missiles, gun, and it actually comes with a smaller head, which is a bit different, but it's for transformation purposes. Before the antennas, about 5.5 inches tall, so smaller guy. You'd see it also comes with the pilot cover there, with the pirate style logo on it. Good amount of detail. I love the panel lining through it and stuff like that. This toy has very good detailing. And like I said, the diecast really adds to the weightiness, especially in the legs there. So for certain, the areas that I see with diecast are the legs and the upper part of the chest there. Now we're just taking a look at the posability here. Of course, fluid movement, pump this boy up to 60 frames per second. It looks really good. Now another thing it comes with accessory-wise, I just pointed to it under the arms. It comes with covers. They're like gap feelers there, between the cockpit and his back. Right. All around nicely posable. I know waist swivel isn't really a Macross thing, but it'd be nice. There you have it. It'd be nice to have a little bit more ankle tilt in there too. Does come with LEDs, both in the helmet, the visor there, as well as the gun that he comes with. His blaster has an LED in it too, and as you can see, very bright. I wish more companies would implement gimmicks that work this well. Like, this is bright as all get out. Like, you can use it as an actual flashlight if you wanted to. Now the gun, there's a tab in his palm that it tabs into. One thing that's a bit disappointing, it does have the trigger area, and he has a posable trigger finger that's separate from the rest of his fingers there, but it doesn't go into the trigger. But he does hold his weapon tightly. It'd just be nice to have that more realism to it, you know. There you have it. Here he is all posed up with his weapon. Turn those lights back on, and you can see even with these bright studio lights on, it's pretty bright. And I love it. I just love the sculpting of this. I like SD figures in general, so I do have a bias there, I gotta admit. Alright, putting that gun down. The hands, they just peg in and out. He comes with two open hands, a left full fist, closed fist, as well as an open-ish fist for the right hand. The gun slides in there, but it's not tight enough for the gun to actually stay in there, so I don't know why they didn't just give him two closed fists. That would have been a lot better in my opinion. There you go. Same pose, alternate hands, and they are a bit bigger too. Kind of like the Bandai Solar Chigoken figures, just those alternate parts. Make it look better. Alright. And he does, like I said, come with the alternate smaller head. You don't see this often on SD figures, but it actually helps with the transformation there. And there it is. I actually like the bigger head a lot better, because he still has that midget style body. Okay. He also comes with the cockpit cover, that pirate style logo. Now the instructions will tell you, take off a cover that's beneath his collar area, move that piece all the way up, like damn near half transform it to get it in. It's bendable plastic, so you can still fit it in. Just do it carefully. You don't have to do all that. That's how he looks with the cover on. Of course, KumaStyle.com will have the Pictorial review there as well. Lots of pictures. I think this one's 23, 24 pictures. It's pretty big. Now we're getting them transformed to the Gerwalk mode, Guardian mode, whatever you want to call it. But those filler pieces, got to get those out. As well as that piece up there by the collar that I mentioned earlier. Alright, and that back piece just unpegs and get the head loose. Just that piece right there. Get it loosened from the back first, then pull it all up. It all turns around. Get those antennae turned around as well. There you go. Zooming out a bit for you. Alright, that starts to come around. And that upper chest piece, it goes back and down as well. Get that tapped in there. And everything goes together really cleanly. I know the first time that I transformed it, well, the first couple of times I've been through it a few, but there were some pieces that the tolerances needed to get loosened up. So if anything seems too tight or anything like that, by all means, don't be too worried about it. Of course, don't push it to the point of breakage, but it should be okay after a couple of run-throughs. Same with the posing. So the head, get that back. And those two metal pieces there, they just swing back. And you can see the hips bend as well as the knees inwards. Give them that real chicken leg style. And temporarily move those antennas so you can get them back. And there are two tabs at the top of the hips there that peg in underneath. And when I say two, I mean one on each side. Pretty easy to peg in. Those shoulders, they do swing back there so that if they're in your way, just go ahead and move them. There you go. You can see we're almost done. Really simple transformations on this guy. I like it. And again, just swing it back a little bit. Get the arms in place. Boom. Get those wings out. Alright. There we go. Give you a roundabout view there. Now that backpack, there is a piece that flips back to show thrusters. Now when it comes to the cockpit, it actually does open. Zooming in a bit here, show you. And I honestly can't tell you if the pilot's removable or not. My hands are too big to get inside of there, so I haven't tried it. Now we're actually getting them transformed into a jet. Definitely my favorite all mode. Don't really like the Gerwalk mode as much, but I know some people love it. Get those shoulders swung all the way back. If it's just ball them up, swing them in. See those panels on the forearms? If you're a transformer guy, you're very familiar with that kind of transformation. Get those hands in there. Now, not being a Macross guy, I don't know if this is similar to the larger size versions in terms of the transformations and things. I cannot tell you. Macross is always one of those series of toy lines that I've wanted to get into, but it's intimidating. They've got a really dedicated and scary community, and the products themselves are expensive. So until I want to go in knee deep, I really don't want to do it at all. Now there's an additional peg there on the back of the calf that pegs into that plate, and that's what I'm doing there. Flip that part back. Get those fins up. Now you can see. And the way the feet become thrusters, you can adjust those as well. Up and down. Now the gun, basically just turn it upside down. And there's a piece on the back of the gun that pegs in, as you can see there, into where the forearms are. Now that gave me a lot of trouble the first time through. The male ends on the forearms definitely had to kind of get warped or whatever to fit the gun better. But this transformation, by the third or fourth time, it was fine. It also comes with the missile pods. Comes with 4 of them, 2 on each wing. And it's nice. I like the little details like that. It's cool. Now, pricing wise, it hasn't been put up for pre-order anywhere. I think it's like Robetech.com or something, but it's MSRP of $60. So the value is pretty damn good for a piece this size, solid, die cast. It's got a lot going on. You know, it's not too unsimilar besides some of the fit and finish of like the ES Gouken toys, some of the minis there. And that's how the bottom should look. And there you go. He does also come with a stand. And it's good for what it's worth. I'll show you how that looks on there really quick. Alright, under the nose cone area there, 2 pegs, and the missile pod rests in the back. Alright, and see, it kind of has that upward swing to it and things like that. Don't really dig it. Wish it was straight. So I'm just using a flight post stand for the sake of this review and the photography. Just give it more of an even setting there. And I guess it is easier too. Balance is better. And alright, while we're rotating it here, that part's pretty straightforward. You know what the jet looks like. I'll give my final thoughts on this guy. Honestly, it's a nice piece. I appreciate KitzConcept sending one over for the sake of review. Like I said, $60 MSRP. Can't really beat that price for something of this quality. It's a good standard. I dig it, and I look forward to more products for them. I'm going to look more into them, see if they do some stuff maybe outside of the Macross, Robotech line, and things like that. But this is a good, fun toy, and it definitely makes me want to get a larger version of the VF-1S to pose by it. But anyway, like I said, solid piece, looks good, plays well. I love the LED gimmicks, and you can see you can still do it while it's in jet mode. It's good stuff. I legitimately enjoy this one. So, again, this has been another KumaStyle review. Check out my site, kumastyle.com, where we'll have the written and pictorial review for this, as well as every other thing that you see on this channel. Subscribe. Like my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram. Do all this stuff, and I'll see you next review.